What is going on, guys? MMA Island team. We got the fight picks, and we got a very interesting fight in this one. In the strawweight division, we got Mallory Martin taking on Hannah Cifers. And I say interesting, not only because of the style matchup, but really to say this, it's kind of crazy to say this. The first fighter to 4 attempts at a fight. Well, I shouldn't say attempts; they did fight, but to the first fighter in 2020 to 4 fights is actually on this fight. Hannah Cifers looking for her 4th fight in 2020, which is the most in the UFC roster at the moment. But shockingly enough, Hannah Cifers actually doesn't have a win yet in 2020. So she's looking for her first one here. All 3 of her losses come by stoppage. She got knocked out by Angela Hill, getting submitted by the knee bar, Mackenzie Dern, and then getting choked out by Maria Agapova. Kind of hurts me to even say that name after last week. But talking about this fight, man, Mallory Martin is also coming off a loss off of Virna Jandiroba, who we saw recently, and UFC 52, who is a submission specialist, if there is one in the UFC at the moment. She is just absolutely a great submission specialist. Really, really nice to see her get that armbar win over Felice Herrig. So I don't really put too much stock in that. If you talk about before that, she would be currently on a 5-fight win streak. The L before that goes to Macy Barber, who people hold in very high regard. And I still think you should totally hold her in very high regard, even though she lost to Roxanne Modafferi, and I think Roxanne's a beast. So talking about this fight, man, a very, very weird matchup. 2 fighters on a losing streak. I really think this is Mallory Martin's fight to win here, just because of what we've seen of Hannah Cifers is that she's just got a very large amount of vulnerability at the moment, albeit against some very good competition in Angela Hill, Mackenzie Dern, and I'll say it, Maria Agapova. I still think she's a beast. She just gassed. That's what happens when you fight the first round like a street fight, and then the second round you just get your face planted into the ground. Hey, shout out to the family member of Shannon Dobson in our comments. But we're just passing it on back to this fight, man. Just looking at where these fights are won with these fighters. Typically, Hannah Cifers wins by KOing her opponents. And she hasn't really been able to show it. Looking at the fighters that she's been able to KO, those are back in lower level fights. Mallory Martin, talking about her, I guess you could say the same for her finishes as well. But being in the UFC, losing to Virna Jandiroba, I really don't put too much stock in that. And then losing 3 fights in a row and kind of dominant fashion in each side in each of these 3 fights, really can't put too much stock into Hannah Cifers here. And I think that's mainly why I'm leaning towards Mallory Martin here. The stats are just absolutely towards Mallory Martin here. Striking accuracy, 59% on Mallory Martin's side, 43% on Hannah Cifers. They both absorb the same amount of strikes, around 5.6 for both, but striking defense, 60% for Mallory Martin and 53% for Hannah Cifers. And one thing that I can't believe I forgot to mention about Mallory Martin is her takedown game. Her takedown game is absolutely amazing. She averages 3.53. And this is only in 1 fight. I should have mentioned that. She averages 3.53 per 15 minutes, 62% accuracy. It's kind of crazy. She didn't get subbed sooner against Virna Jandiroba, shooting that amount of times. But she's got the takedown accuracy. She's got the striking. I really just think that the reach, the height, all the stats, all the numbers, all the things on paper are leaning towards Mallory Martin to win this fight. There's just more opportunities for her here. I really don't think that Hannah Cifers is going to be able to go in here and knock out Mallory Martin. I could be proven wrong, but I just don't see it happening. Looking at the fighters that each of these 2 ladies have fought, I just don't think Hannah Cifers is in a place where she can really pull that off against Mallory Martin, especially with the takedown game. Well, as we know, and I tend to bring up the Khabib. It's my second time bringing up a Khabib reference this card, and it's not even a Khabib reference. It's just of what people say when they watch him fight, and it makes me sound like a casual. I know I'm not a casual. I study the sport every day, so many hours every day as well. But one thing people mention, and a perfect example of it is Khabib versus Conor McGregor, is when you're worried about the ground game, you tend to hold back on the striking game. And that's something I've known for a very, very long time. And looking at the Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov fight, it's a perfect example of it, because Conor has never, ever been dropped except by Khabib Nurmagomedov, because Conor was wary of the takedown game. And I think that's going to show in this fight. I think Hannah Cifers is going to be able to get the striking game as much as she wants out there because I think Mallory Martin's going to be shooting on her all day. And bringing this fight to the ground, really, really in favor of Mallory Martin there. And Hannah Cifers is definitely not Verna Jandiroba. So I just think that everything is pointing towards Mallory Martin winning this fight. But I'll pass it on to Zach.
It's been a while, but we agree on this one. I like to liken Hannah Cifers' fighting style to that of an angry chihuahua. She's very small, but she will come at you, and she just is incredibly aggressive. But, you know, it's easy to get an angry chihuahua. It's charging at you. It's kind of scary. But if you kind of center yourself for a minute, you can easily kick it to the side, no problem. And that's mostly how Hannah Cifers looks. Like, she comes at you, and she throws lots and lots and lots of striking volume. But in that time, she eats lots and lots and lots of shots. If you see someone landing over 4 significant strikes per minute and still have a over almost one negative 1 strike differential, that's not good. That's just a trade one to get one fighter. And if you're not knocking out these people in the UFC, then you really should look at who you're fighting. And then her 2 wins. Okay, Polyana Vienna is fighting on this card. Not someone, as I probably mentioned earlier, if you watch the other fight picks, that I don't have a lot of faith in. And then probably one of the worst fighters to ever fight in the UFC in Jodie Esquibel. Like, she had no business being in the promotion. And yes, you can look at the competition that she's lost to, and they're all very solid. But another thing to look at is that this is way too soon for Hannah Cifers to return, in my opinion. She's coming back it's been about 2 months, and she took a absolute beating from Maria Agapova, however the hell you pronounce it. She took a absolute beating. She got dropped by a head kick and many, many shots, and then got choked out. And then now she's fighting Mallory Martin, who, as you mentioned, is a very, very solid, wrestler. Very, very good on the ground. I just don't see this fight going Hannah Cifers' way. She's not going to be able to put her crazy output up on Mallory Martin, because if she does, she's just going to get taken down. It's just what's going to happen. And Hannah Cifers off of her back is about as dangerous as a fleck of dust hitting you on the face. It's not going to do anything. It's Hannah Cifers off of her back. You're fine. You're fine, especially with someone with the top pressure, Mallory Martin. This should be no problem. Mallory Martin's going to win this fight by a decision.
All right, so we do have an agreement. So if you guys got Hannah Cifers in this one, we want to know. If you guys got Mallory Martin in this one, we also want to know. Point is, we want to know what you guys think. So make sure you guys are dropping your comments and letting us know what you guys think of not only the fight, but the video as well. We want to know what you think of the predictions. We want to know what you think of the fight picks. So make sure you guys are also checking out the other fight videos. We'll see you in the next one.